Once upon a snowy winter's day, a gentle queen sat by her palace window, sewing quietly. Outside, the snow covered everything in white. As she sewed, she pricked her finger, and a few drops of bright red blood fell onto the snow. Watching the red upon the white, she whispered,
I wish for a child whose skin is as white as snow, lips as red as blood.
Not long after, her wish came true. The queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, just as she had dreamed. They named her Snow White, but sadly the queen died soon after the child was born. A year later, the king married again. The new queen was stunningly beautiful, but also proud, vain, and cruel. Every day she would stand before her magic mirror and ask,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?"
And the mirror would reply,
You, my queen, are the fairest of all.
For years, the queen was pleased with that answer, but as Snow White grew older, her beauty blossomed, even more radiant than the queen's. One morning, the queen asked her mirror again, and this time it said,
You are fair, O queen, it's true. But Snow White is fairer than you.
The queen's heart filled with rage and jealousy. She ordered her huntsman,
"Take Snow White deep into the forest, kill her, and bring me her heart as proof."
but when the huntsman took the innocent girl into the woods, he couldn't do it. Her kindness and fear touched his heart.
Run away, child. Don't ever come back.
To fool the queen, he killed a wild boar and took its heart instead. The wicked queen believed it and even had it cooked. Meanwhile, Snow White ran through the dark forest, lost, cold, and frightened, until she found a small cottage in a clearing. Inside the cottage, Snow White found 7 tiny plates, 7 chairs, and 7 little beds. Hungry and tired, she ate a bit of food, drank some water, and lay down on the smallest bed. Soon, she fell fast asleep. That night, 7 dwarfs came home from their work in the mines. Who's been sitting in my chair? Who's been eating from my plate? Someone's sleeping in my bed. And she's still here. When they saw Snow White, they were amazed by her beauty. They didn't wake her, and by morning, they had already grown fond of her. When Snow White woke up, she was surprised, but not afraid. The dwarfs were kind and gentle. She told them her story, about the jealous queen and the huntsman who spared her life. If you stay and help us with the house, cooking, cleaning, and sewing, you can live here safely, they said. Grateful, Snow White agreed. For a while, she lived happily with them. But one morning back at the castle, the queen once again asked her mirror,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?"
The mirror answered,
You are fair, O queen, but Snow White with the 7 dwarfs is fairer still.
Enraged, the queen disguised herself as an old woman and went to the dwarf's cottage. She sold Snow White a beautiful lace bodice and tightened it so hard that Snow White fainted. When the dwarfs came home, they loosened the lace, and she recovered. The next day, the queen returned, this time with a poisoned comb. When Snow White used it, she fell again. But the dwarfs removed the comb just in time to save her. The wicked queen was furious. "This time she will not escape me," she hissed. She made a red and white apple, half poisoned, half safe, and disguised herself as a farmer's wife. When Snow White refused to open the door, the queen said, "I'll cut it in half. You eat the red side, I'll eat the white. See? Safe and sweet." Snow White took one bite and instantly fell lifeless to the floor. When the dwarfs returned, they tried everything, but she didn't move or breathe. They built a glass coffin so her beauty would never fade. Each day, one dwarf stood guard by her side. Years later, a prince rode through the forest and saw the sleeping girl. Moved by her beauty and sadness, he said,
Please, let me take her to my castle. I will keep her safe forever.
As his servants carried the coffin, they stumbled, and the piece of apple stuck in her throat came loose. Snow White opened her eyes.
Where am I?
You're safe now. Will you come with me and be my queen?
Snow White smiled and agreed. A grand wedding was held, and everyone rejoiced. Even the wicked queen came, not knowing it was Snow White's wedding. When she asked her mirror,
Who is the fairest of them all?
the mirror replied,
You, my queen, are fair, but the new queen is fairer still.
Filled with terror and envy, she arrived at the feast, only to find her punishment waiting. Red-hot iron shoes were brought before her, and she was forced to dance in them until she fell dead. From that day on, Snow White and her prince ruled with kindness and joy. The 7 dwarfs were honored guests at the castle, and they all lived happily ever after.